Good morning. Oop, let me update that. Good morning, good morning. I'm doing the weigh in, and that's part of it. I'm running behind today. Same number, same number. It's okay. It's good. We're getting there. We still ride on. Number go down slightly. Not, but I feel better. That's important. Test, 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 test. Okay, it is. There we go. Today was a hard day. Just getting up. Uh, I don't know if it's cold. Like I didn't go to bed. You just try to do the same thing, but it's just like some of those days. Who knows? Not good sleep. Anxious about stuff. Woo. Flying off my bug seat. Ooh. Ugh. But I got to keep going. Ugh. Yesterday was a long day at work. And sometimes I just feel like defeated. But can't break the streak. I feel like even pedaling's harder. I don't know. Today is just a weird day. Last night, me and Ellen watched Sonora, which I highly recommend. It's a movie about. I almost don't want to say, just like because sometimes you say a plot. I'll say it's not what you expect. You look at the preview. Okay, I'll say it. You gotta hook it with something, right? So this exotic dancer gets kidnapped by these like friends of this like Russian oligarch's son. And then there's a twist. I'll say that. I'll leave a little bit of intrigue and mystery to it. It's a bit of a twist. It doesn't go at all in the way you expect. And it's kind of a little not slow to start, but it's setting up these two characters in one light at the start. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not very good at movie reviews without spoiling the shit out of it, but I would say thumbs up. It is a wild ride. Especially in an age when we have all these movies that are just repeating the same thing that can't be original whatsoever. They're like beat for beat copying these movies. Are trying to soft reboot, but it's like just way worse because it doesn't make any sense. Like they try changing the characters and location. Especially for like ensemble movies, it's like, what are you doing? And like the reason that was so good is not because it's following that. Like Hollywood, I feel like big money Hollywood would like to just find a formula. Like I'm sure children's programming is like so excited that they found like Coco Melon and Doc McStuffins and stuff that's like crack for babies. They're like, if we could just do that, but for adults. Marvel maybe was the closest, but then, you know what? The magical thing happens. People get sick and tired. They try to make it too formulaic. You know, you have something. It's like the case for everything artistic, always. You have something original that says a message and like, you know, it's very entertaining and well done. And then they run it into the ground. They want to like formulaic factory style knockout movies like that until we fucking hate it. And it's not because we hate it because we don't like that type of thing anymore. That's part of it for sure. But it's because it's like, this has gotten so far away from the original thing, and it's so lazy now that I have a saying that I always say to Ellen. I don't know if I heard it somewhere or another comedian or something, but they're treating us like cattle. Something I always echo whenever I see some like Taco Bell commercial I hate or some insurance commercial where they're treating you like an R word. They're treating us like cattle. They think so little of us. Or even like politics sometimes. Some of these laws. They're treating us like cattle. Especially when you're protesting. They're like literally treating you like cattle. Like herding you around. So you might be trying to do a peaceful protest. And they're like, you're trespassing, or you gotta go in the woods or something, where no one to see you. And the protest would be mostly ineffective. They'd be like, then I'm not protesting, am I? And at least in America, you don't disappear. You know, we have our problems with people protesting and stuff. But in Russia or China or Hong Kong or Taiwan, you disappear. You suddenly die. Or, yeah, who knows? You vanish. And hopefully that doesn't end the movement. It just makes that person a martyr for the movement. But it definitely gets in your head. Like, oh shit. But the beat of the revolution lives on. They just wait and plot. But it's definitely slower when you can't get support through public means. But there's like one outlier, I feel like. And maybe it's not, I don't know. But like North Korea. I don't think it's an outlier. I think they just like kill or, you know, it's almost like Scientology too. North Korea is a lot like Scientology. It's because if you try to escape, I'll just torture all your friends and family. It's like they have just many ways of like keeping you in. Hey, if you do dissent, if you do escape, or if you do if we ever catch you, I am going to put you in a labor camp. And guess what? Your sweet old mom and your sweet old dad, they're going too. It's like, goddamn. But I don't know. I'm hoping. It's hard when you have like a godlike devotion to a human. I don't think we've, at least in modern history, I don't think we've seen that with anybody. Maybe Putin is close. I don't know if it's godlike devotion or, you know, you just control the media. I guess the big three. And I'm sure there's other smaller countries or whatever, but I'm sure it's happened many a time, and I'm going to find out. But like Russia, China, and North Korea, yeah. But North Korea, yeah, is like Looney Tunes level more absurd. And like they're not going to nuke themselves. You know, if there was a revolution or something. I feel like it's starting to happen with like Russian military with the Ukraine situation, like war in Ukraine, and you know, people are starting to be like, no, I'm not going to do this, or I'm going to actually fight with them. I feel like the reason that happened for Russia is because they have like the internet. It might be censored, but there's ways around that. And like if you have an eye into like the global news, it's much harder to propagandize when you can like look at news that's not from the Russian state media. China, a little bit more lockdown with the Great Firewall of China. Again, do VPNs just not work? Or I don't know. I feel like there's workarounds for savvy Chinese people. What's up, Bulk Bogan? Good morning. China. We talk about North Korea. I'm just like, I don't know. I still have hope that there's going to be like a revolution or something. And maybe there has been, and like, they just don't publicize it. But they like make it such a bubble that you can't figure out anything that's going on until someone escapes and gives you like a sit rep on what's going on inside those borders. Now it's all politics. I lose a couple of pounds. No, I got you. And why are they putting chemicals in the water? I get mildly in shape and I lose my damn mind. What if? That's the thing I'm always fascinated about. I wish there was like Marvel's like what if, but like for history. There is a YouTube channel I think that does that already. So as I was saying, I wish it existed. I was like, oh, it does. There's like an alternative history channel that like tries to logically guess what would happen. And there's a bunch of movies and shows about like alternative history. Like, okay, this happened, but what if it happened like this? It's interesting. It's really interesting to speculate and look back with hindsight. Like, if something just went another way, what would happen? And there's that Black Mirror episode. I'm spoiling it, but if you haven't watched it, it's very old, so if you haven't watched it. But there's an episode of Black Mirror where, you know, this couple seeing how compatible they are, and their numbers are, you know, like whatever. But they're like going on, and it's like they're giving it a shot, and you know they fall in love, and they've been dating for a while, and it doesn't work out, and then the twist happens, and they're both AI as part of this dating program that like simulates millions and millions of date outcome possibilities. And so they were just representations of these two people on a date that didn't go anywhere. And so the episode ends with the two people that just went on this long like rom-com that didn't work out, and they break up, and they have, you know, they're crying and stuff in the simulation, and they're just sitting there at the dinner table, like repeating the beginning of the episode, and they go, oh, looks like it's not going to work out, and they both just get up and they go, oh yeah. So they don't even try, because the simulation showed that more often than not it wouldn't work out. So they don't go through any of the heartache or attempts. It does get me thinking about that for like, you know, selective DNA for your baby or whatever. Like, you know, being able to choose, like, if you have a disease or not, and terminating it early or something. Or just like removing the gene that would give the disease or abnormality or something. Which I think that's fine. Again, these things that lead to hell are normally, start with a noble intention. And then, but then, like, you get into, like, hey, I could change the hair color, eye color. I want to make them tall and stuff. I feel like that's going to be a slippery slope. It's called eugenics, yeah. But this is like, everything comes in cycles. I feel like eugenics is coming back once, like, we have, like, DNA editing. And then everyone's blonde hair, blue eyes babies. Or even be able to select your skin color. Like, that's going to be really, if that ever happens, like, I don't know. What if a world existed like that? Where you can get rid of the diversity if you have a little bit of money. Will it be like that South Park episode where everyone's homogenized, one homogenized race, and there's one language that everyone speaks, and they all wear, like, solid colored jumpsuits? I wonder how many times history has repeated, like, very closely. Like how, people were smart back then, and Romans and Mayan and China. There's a lot of stuff that they, like, these archaeologists are, what's it called when people look at ancient cultures and stuff, and they're like, they knew that back then? Holy shit, that was 10,000 years ago. How did they know that? Smart folks. Like, but you don't leave, like, daily blogs or something. Like, if we could find, like, someone's live journal from 10,000 years ago, and they were just, like, a teenage girl that wrote hieroglyphics for a fucking mundane everything, and they just, like, wrote everything they saw. That'd be so fascinating. We do a lot of speculation. You know something I hate on those, like, history shows is that, like, they, like, I feel like they, like, make a lot of, like, sweeping assumptions about the person's intentions by, like, what they did. Like, it might have been a hard choice for, like, some of these pharaohs to stay in power. But they're like, these power-hungry pharaohs threw their own uncle under the bus. How do you know that? How do you know it wasn't the uncle trying to kill the pharaoh, and then the pharaoh just defending himself? Or, I don't know. It's, how do you tell? Hey, what's up, Slim? Good morning. I'm trying to become slim myself. I've been well. I definitely have been missing the stream. So, we're back to it. We're back to streaming. This is very different from AI. But, still me shooting the shit. Still me cracking jokes. Still me thinking about weird, wacky shit. Back to a, yeah. Bike on that thing, yeah. Who knew that if you took a random person and gave them a bunch of fame and they tried to milk it for all it's worth, that they'd screw over people? That pump and dump scam. Can we get some laws around how many times does this have to happen where a YouTuber or famous person pumps a coin and dumps it? Like, is the reason we can't go after people is because, like, you can't, it's, like, impossible or very hard to trace these Bitcoin transactions or whatever. I don't know. Thanks, Slim. Glad to see you guys too. I miss talking to all the regulars. And I wonder what the playbook is too. Because these crypto bros that like set up these pumping up coins, they have like a playbook. It's almost like telemarketing. Because the Talk to a girl, she had no knowledge of crypto probably ever before. But like very quickly she fell for it to like milk what she got, and she probably just thought, oh, quick payday. And it's really unreal how much people lost. Really, you're gonna trust this person who got famous for? That's like I don't know. Like I have financial faith in Tay Zonde telling me to buy steak knives or something. I just don't get it. I don't know. But at the same time, when people like you, you have some influence over them. You can't go, well, if they were stupid enough to listen to me. No, you're influential. People like who you are. You're kind of pulling the rug on your personality too by like just having no empathy for people. Oh, interesting. Yeah, some people don't even know. Yeah, just these group of, they're like, I will pump any coin and rug pull. Like, I don't even care who it is. They probably don't even know the person. They just see a new coin pop up, and they go, time to ride the wave. And then all these unassuming people. And I feel like the real thing, I guess if you don't know, if you just don't have a beat on the situation, you like look at the price of Bitcoin and you're like, oh, I'm investing in Bitcoin. It's like, no. Completely different thing. It's like, and first off, a type of currency shouldn't be like an investment. It's sad that it is, and it like has drastic fluctuations and some stability, but you get Bitcoin, you pay for something that needs Bitcoin, and then cash out. That's how I think it should be used. But also, it's like a global currency. I don't know. It's a complicated situation. I get wanting to keep it, especially if you like your country, you don't trust the value of your dollar. And Bitcoin's more stable than your country's currency. Then yeah, put all your money into Bitcoin. And then when you need like a wheelbarrow full of Zimbabwe dollars, hey, I got what little I had in Bitcoin, and it has stayed the same. That is very alluring too. I feel like people always think it's like crypto bros, but it's like, it is a technology for that. I feel like, I don't know, if it wasn't for like the gas fees, I feel like crypto might have been more widely adopted, and just the complication of it all still. Maybe one day. Maybe it'll evolve into something else. Who knows? There's certainly enough coins trying. Different ways of mining. Coin. that is mine and backed by a physical thing. I don't know. The world's too fucking complicated. Let some smart guys figure it out. And then when we have like the solution, just everybody go use that. Oh, I don't know why. I am so like extra tired today. Every day before this, I had more energy because of the biking. But yeah, maybe I just didn't get a good night's sleep or whatever. But and maybe it's because I know, like my mind knows, I'm going into like an all-day meeting today, and that makes the day way longer. So maybe my body is like just physically like, go back to bed. You can avoid this. You don't have to go. We'll see. Tomorrow, I don't have an all-day meeting, and I get to work from home, so I should be more awake by that logic. We'll see. Tune in tomorrow and see how awake I am during the stream. Oh, okay. You know, Hubble, until you said it, I thought he was. I knew he was pretending to be a Path of Exile 2 top player. And, like, somebody reposted it. I was like, oh, shit. You know, I don't know how he has the time for it. But it's good to know that it was just a lie. What a weird thing to, like, flex on. Or maybe, like, he has his assistant. Hey, can you go be top on Path of Exile for me? And then I get to play with all the top gear. What's the actual situation? Was he just stealing footage from somebody else? And, like... You know, I think it's just one of those things where it's like nonstop bullshit until you say something that people like that's actually sounds somewhat smart. Like, and they'll clip that, and I'll get the thing that gets put in the algorithm and shown to me. And I'll be like, oh, okay. I hate Elon a little less today. And the same thing must be true for Trump. Like, if you listen to him all the time, you must be like, what the fuck is going on? But most people are just like, get the highlights. And once it's in your algorithm, it just all the best stuff gets regurgitated to you. And so you get this gilded view of this person you look up to. Self-defense flamethrower, oh yeah. I mean, isn't that like just so illegal? I mean, how isn't flamethrowers against the Geneva Convention or whatever? But I guess if you're using leaves or burning stuff, I don't know. I'm sure there's like actual maintenance flamethrowers because like in Michigan and stuff and Alaska, I'm sure it's like more common in Alaska and Canada. Like shit freezes and you have to take a flamethrower to like civic, like public utilities and stuff so they don't get like 8 inches of ice on it. Okay, so it is what I thought. He's got like a juicer, a professional juicer. Hop on my Path of Exile character and juice me up, please, while I'm doing all these things I say I'm doing. What if that's a lie? What if he's doubling down on a lie? And he actually is spending that much time playing Path of Exile 2. And the juicer is just a cover for him not looking professional. He played it on a live stream and didn't even really know how the inventory works. Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's how you know you're cheating. Is when like, just show me how you play. If things are looking a little funky, I think you're trying to trick me, or there's something going on. That happens with like CS:GO players who like cheat. Like when you cheat, you play in a different way. Because when you know someone's around the wall, like you don't play like a pro does. You don't do the checks and stuff. There's a lot of things like throwing flashbangs and like some people are good enough to fake it. I feel like when they cheat, but then you get some like teenage boy who just bought a cheat kit off the internet with his Bitcoin. He went AFK, but the game was still playing. Oh my god, that is ridiculous. Snoop Dogg is very manipulative, and then he has like the cheap webcam and the poor lighting, and I've seen like clips of his stream where it's like just super close up on his face, and he's just smoking a joint or whatever. Man, that guy's got to be going to hell. I don't know if he's nothing he has done. I just feel like he's done something super evil. He's in too many like big commercials for like Apple and Verizon, and he's got too much money to not have done something evil. When you're that business focused and that like cutthroat about making an empire, or you know, just selling yourself out to everyone, you've stepped on some faces like hard. Oh, that is hilarious. I do recognize that, but for 4 months that's a little ridiculous, you know. But yeah, you're not reading chat. Someone has to tell you within like 5 minutes, hey, your mic's off. Your mic's off. And I wonder if he has donations, and people are like, hey, your mic's off. Turn your mic back on. And he goes, I don't know no mic. Thanks for the $5. And people are just like, oh, man. Oh, Bulk, I feel like I need to do a deep dive on this now. I did not know about this. 4 months. Oh, man. Why are people still watching when the mic is still off? Just to see. It's almost like, you know those fake videos where there's just like, it's just like a loop of the person in the corner, but it's like clearly like a bot TikTok where it looks like a famous person is reacting to some other whatever, but it's just like clipped from another video and muted, or like, you know, audio's played out of context, or the AI voices. But that's for actual Snoop Dogg. Or maybe it was intentional. Maybe like he was intentionally muted. And he was just like, we got to get a lip reader in, and he was just like talking to his real friends and stuff. Number schmumbers. It was a week, but you know, same difference. A week is still egregious. An hour is egregious. Because you know, every time he like looked at chat, you know that people have been spamming it and trying to like catch the wave. $4 months is definitely the funny number, though. I often think of these, like my mind just like thinks of these long plot lines, like if I ever have a comedy show or something, like that would be an episode. Just this super famous guy. And I would get actual Snoop Dogg. Because he'd say yes if I gave him the right number. I'd be like, Snoop, this is you. I just changed the name of the script to Schmoop Dog with 3 G's. Woo. All right. Small water break, some kettlebell swings, and then back to it. All right, let's see how my... Oh, 41 minutes before we took a break. Hell yeah. Getting better, stronger. My butt's hurting less because of the seat. Everything's snapping into place. Woo. Okay. Oh, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If that hasn't happened already, it will happen soon. Maybe I'll be that guy who just rides the wave. I like have a miraculous weight loss, and then I just start like eating cheeseburgers on stream and be like, I don't know, the number starts to just way go up. Like I'm still just doing the cycling, but I'm eating like 15,000 calories a day. So I'd have to do like a Michael Phelps Olympic workout. More streams, exactly. Yeah. All right, back to it. Right on. Or like, I know you probably know this, but for the listeners, uh, every weight loss commercial, every before and after they get, all of those people, they deliberately pick out. These aren't weight loss people that are sending it in. They have a very particular kind of person that they get for these weight loss commercials. It is professional or semi-professional athletes that get injured and can't work out. I would say 99% of people in those diet commercials are that. They get injured, they put on a bunch of weight because they're eating like their calories that they do when they like bulk up still. They didn't break their diets or nothing. And then these weight loss companies wave a pile of cash in their face and say, hey, just say this and show a before and after because we know you're going to shed the weight again. Did I do any diet changes? No. Diet's the one thing that... If I don't drink pop, I drink my coffee black. They buy lunch for me at work. I'm trying to not eat out as much. And I'm trying to, like, every time I eat out, it's always huge portions. I'm trying to, like, I don't know, not eat as much. I often do not require a takeout container. So I'm trying to make it so I always require a takeout container. Because every fucking restaurant in America gives you insane proportions. My dream, and I think I've mentioned this on the AI streams, but my dream is I'm going to give you $5. You give me $5 worth of food, and that's probably like a reasonable amount of food. Don't give me these insane proportions. Please. And not 501, not $5.99. $5 exactly. Adjust it for tax. I don't care. You know, I'm going to give you $5. There was a bento box place in Japan that did that, and I was like, that's it. This is the solution. Have like a, buffet style kind of lunchroom place. Put everything into one box. The weight of what it is what you pay. Because then I can kind of control it. And you can control the market value of like, okay, this is actually a little bit higher today. This chicken costs more. You figure that out. Don't put it on me. I want to give you $5. But my mom cooks, and I cook. And I have a lot of friends that cook and eat out. And I try to make smarter choices when I eat out. Not always just beef and pork. Throw chicken in there. Throw fish in the mix. And you know what? This number might be 283 for a while. Who knows? I still want to keep doing this. Because just working out makes me feel better. And I don't want to be incapable of doing something. On the first stream, I think I said if I just osmorph or like pound for pound switch all my fat to muscle and I stay 283 the whole time, I'd be okay with that. I'd have to probably do a lot more weight stuff. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get a bench imp in here if I find one on the side of the road or at a garage sale or something. People are always giving away benches on Facebook Marketplace too. My father-in-law has a set in the basement. And it's like rusted as shit. But nah, he uses it every day. He's just got a routine. He just doesn't want to be feeble. And my dad, he's got dementia now. But before that, he was more fit than I was, always. Like, even when I was doing all the sports, that guy just worked out all the time. He would do walks. He'd work on the yard. He'd work on the house. Just stay super physical. My dad's 87 years old. He's turning 88 in March. I have an old dad. I know with dementia, his hip is hurting. He's having trouble walking because he just doesn't move it at all. But he just plops on the couch and watches TV. And my mom tries to get him to do stuff, but he just doesn't have the will. Things are kind of starting to, just talking and writing his name is hard. And counting, he has to write down the numbers to remember how to count. My dad is an enigma because he just loved to work. I don't know. He never had any hobbies or nothing. He was like a farm boy. He taught himself general contracting, home repair stuff. So he would do a lot of stuff himself. He'd work a ton of overtime. And then, I don't know. Come home, listen to music. Come home, watch TV. Watch old movies. Wash, rinse, repeat. And then he retired. And then, when he retired, me and my brothers were struggling. My mom was kind of getting angry at us. She's like, why don't you take your dad out and do something? And we're like, we all have tried. We tried to take him a baseball game, a football game. go bowling, anything. Go to the batting cages, stuff we don't even do normally. We're like, what is this guy's thing? And the thing it was always, let me hop up on the roof and do something. Let me tear out a wall or repaint this room. Be like, okay, great. I'll help you with contracting stuff. Just teach me how to do it and help me along. And the problem was, I think he liked doing it alone, too. Because he would do it, and literally for hours, he'd be like, just hold this ladder or hold this flashlight. And if you wiggle the ladder or the flashlight at all, he would get angry at you. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not going to help you anymore. And then I'm like, why aren't you helping your dad? It's like, you know what it's like, trying to help him. I would love to help him. What I would not like to do is hold a ladder for 4 hours and get yelled at. And the biggest thing I have a problem with, that's fine. He likes to be alone. I just don't know him as a guy. Like, he's always around. He just doesn't talk. Especially now, but just weird to be so close to somebody and yet so far away. Sorry, real talk. It's going to happen, especially if I'm streaming 7 days a week. Always on my mind. And that's another reason for physical fitness, I don't want to be not able to go to any of my kids' things or be part of their life. I don't want to be the dad that sends my kid off to T-ball while I'm playing WoW raids or something. And I'm like, Dad, you want to play catch with me? And I get winded after 5 minutes. And I go inside. I don't want to be that. I also don't want to be try hard that like tries to interview too much. You gotta let your kid do your own thing. But care a little bit. Ugh. Just play WoW with your kids. I've seen that too. I don't know if that's healthy either. Or people who are way too friendly with their kids. And those are the kids that are usually bouncing off the wall. And they're like, let him express himself. It's like, no, I'm trying to eat dinner with my family. And your kid keeps running around the restaurant screaming. Can you, intervene, please? This is a point where you need to step up and not be a friend. I was a demon child. I was definitely that. I'm very hypocritical. All my advice I give is I don't listen to what I preach. No, for the most part, I feel like I do, but I was such a bastard. A fat little bastard. I was short and fat until I hit high school. And I took it out on everybody. I didn't have, a lot of close friends. I would hang out with literally the kids closest to my house in the subdivision I lived in. And I had fun times. But, I don't know, definitely wasn't a popular kid. Have the one best friend and you go over his house a bunch. But I never got invited to parties or nothing, or even when I do sports. I feel like I have a unique perspective on the world because, yeah, I was teased and made fun of and picked on a bunch when I was short and fat. And then two things happened at the same time. Yeah, I hit a growth spurt and I lost a bunch of weight. But like, I feel like you need a class almost to reintroduce you to kid society because like then no one talked to me. All the bullying kind of fell by the wayside. But then just like no one was hanging out with me or talking to me, and there's like a long stretch of period where it's just like, I would joke around. That would always be how I interacted with other kids in school. And Jason was like, "Oh, Jason's kind of funny. He's always joking around." But yeah, that was kind of it. And I had a regular lunch table or whatever, but no one was inviting me to shit after school. Until like my senior year, where like I tried to reach out to like people who I had more in common with. I feel like I changed lunch tables, and I sat with like the band kids, and they were more my vibe. And to this day, people still think I was in like band. Like I'll get invited to like these band reunions. I was like, I was never in band. I was just that one year. I always hung out with all the band kids. And that was a good friend group. They really, we hung out a ton after that. And had some good times. But I wish I would like had found out sooner to just like find people who had more common. It's kind of one of those things where you like, when you're fat and you're picked on a bunch, you have like you have negative self-esteem. You feel like even just being near someone is a burden or something. And so I just like never tried. I was too scared of like rejection, and I'd crack jokes, and that was it. And then you're like so desperate for friends that it's like, this is kind of, I don't want to invite Jason over. I don't know what it was. Yeah, no, just no one thought. I feel like there was one time too where it's like, I think I was like 8th or 9th grade or whatever, and a new kid, thank God, a new kid came, and I was like hanging out with the new kid. I was like, oh, thank God, someone who had, I feel like in my situation, a little bit of an outsider, and he has no friends, and like talk to him for a week or whatever, and then I should have known it. That kid just became one of the popular kids like overnight. It's like, how do you do that shit? I didn't have the charisma. I didn't know how to interact with people in a normal way other than joking around. I guess you just gotta, be thrown into the fire. Maybe there's no class that's worth it. You just gotta figure out, or don't. How to interact with other humans is really hard. Kids especially. Kids, it's like tribal knowledge. And like, people divide it up and click up. And it's like, you just gotta let what happens. Teachers can't intervene. You don't listen to any adult, especially one in a piece of authority. It's not related to you. Hell no. I feel like there's remnants of that till today. I just get too anxious in big crowds of people. And I'll gravitate to the other person who's alone. Because I feel like it's like part of myself. It's like, all these people who are talking to hopping in the cool circle, but contributing nothing. And I feel like I'm the one who makes the cool circle. With people you dismiss every day just because they're weird. Or you don't do them as funny as you. And now I'm talking about the comedy scene. Talking them some shit. But yeah, drama kids. A lot of drama kids in the improv scene. A lot of weird cliques and stuff. In U.S. schools, you change classmates all the time. Yep. In elementary school, it's kind of the same. There might be one or two. Middle school, you change. All the elementary schools like combine if you're in a bigger town. And then all the middle schools combine in the high school. Or not. It depends. It's pretty different. I would say that's a pretty common case, though. But my graduating class was like 200 kids, so I knew everybody. Like, even if I didn't, like, hang out with them, I knew their names. I've interacted with them in some way or another. But there's people, like Ann Arbor, that's where, like, University of Michigan is, U of M football or whatever. Their high school or whatever, I knew somebody who went to, I forget what it's called, but their high school was like 2 or 3 stories, and their graduating class was like 2,000. And so they're like, yeah, there's people I went to school with I had no idea about. That wasn't my case, though, but... It's definitely weird, yeah. Oh, and there we go. I'll dive deeper into the American school system tomorrow. Thank you, Bulkster. And thanks, everybody, for watching. And if you're watching the VODs, keep on going. Keep on riding. Don't give up. I know I'd wanted to at the beginning of this today, but I pushed through. I got on the stupid bike, turned on a stupid camera, and I did it. And I'm going to keep doing it. All right. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.